What's the antidote to the negative side of mob mentality?
Well, first, to be aware of it and aware of its dynamics. And I love the fact that you admitted, and I admit it too, that we all get caught up in it. We're all sinners here. And we're all in danger of falling into the Girardian trap of getting excited by this mob, this group that's formed. And I can be part of that. And they're the one to blame. So it's very enticing. First thing, be aware of it. Secondly, don't cooperate with it. You know, a story that Girard especially loved from the New Testament was the woman caught in adultery in the Gospel of John. Remember that story? When, the Pharisees bring this woman to Jesus. We've caught her in the very act of adultery. So they found their scapegoat. And around them, this angry mob is forming, right? They're taking stones in their hand because with the Mosaic law, we can stone this lady to death. What does Jesus do? And they come to him, hey, tell us, what do you think about this? They want him to sanction it. And instead, he just bends down and he writes on the ground. And famously, we don't know what he wrote. It's the only time he's ever described as writing something in the New Testament, but we don't know what it is. But I think what's important there is he doesn't cooperate with it. He's doodles on the ground. I'm not going to cooperate with it. And then he has the devastating one-liner, right? Let the one among you without sin be the first to cast a stone at her. So that's a beautiful way to disempower the Girardian mob. Don't recognize it for what it is. Don't cooperate with it. And then turn its energy against itself. Let the one among you who's without sin be the first to cast a stone at her. So I think especially for Christians, it's very important for us to be aware of this dynamic. How sad, I'll speak bluntly here, that way too often in the Catholic media space, you got people stirring up these Girardian mobs. You got people stirring up just this kind of scapegoating violence. And that's especially tragic when Christians do it because we're the ones who should most be able to see through it. Listening to what you're saying, I agree 100%, but I also acknowledge that can be scary to be the one person to stand up to the mob or not go along with the mob. You get afraid. Is my business going to be destroyed? Am I going to be hurt? What do you do in that situation? What do you do in that situation where you're afraid to not go along? Yeah, I get it. And people are very aggressive, and they're trying to destroy careers and destroy lives, And so people start getting naturally defensive. So I get that. I wouldn't want to, be pontificating here to people that are really in danger of losing their livelihood. But I think to do all we can to unmask and not cooperate with these tendencies. To have the courage to tell the truth publicly when you know it's probably going to excite a Girardian mob. No, I get it. And again, I don't want to sound facile, to those whose lives and work are really threatened by this. But the best we can do is unmask it and try to disempower it.
Yeah, I think sometimes what gives me courage is realizing there's probably other people that may want to do the same. They just feel like they're alone, so maybe make them feel like there's other people.
Yeah, and there's, again, I want to be careful because I know I'm dealing with people's real lives here, but it's been said that a lot of the woke cancel culture stuff is propagated by essentially bullies, and that bullies are cowards, and we know that from the grade school playground, and so standing up to them can be the best thing and often disempowers them. And so Jesus in that story is basically standing up to a mob. He's challenging them. He's getting in their face. And now, he paid the supreme price. One way to read the cross is precisely Jesus himself becoming the scapegoated victim. So I get that. I get the seriousness of it. But to do all we can to stand up to the bullies.